Welcome back, gods and goddesses, to another episode of the Gifted Goddess channel, where I share my gifts of channeling with you, and I encourage you to do the same. So let's get straight into the message. Apparently, this message is an emergency. 911 came through a couple times when I was getting the download for it. So, Master of the Game came out first. That's a book that I read. If you read novels, it's a Sidney Sheldon book. I forget the exact plot because I read so many of his books. So yeah, that could be significant. Maybe you're reading that, or something with mothers is definitely significant. Myself, I got that book from my mother, so that's definitely significant. Trains could be significant. Maybe you're hearing trains when you're listening to this, or you live near trains, but trains are definitely significant. Marlon Wayans was coming through, so okay. Let me try to think of the best way to explain this. I was looking at some of the comments under a trailer for the movie Him with Marlon Wayans. First of all, ads came up. So something about ads. You might need ads, or you're looking into getting ads. My son and myself were just talking about how placing ads on like social medias and YouTube and things help promote your channels and pages. So that could be significant. Or something about AD. Maybe your initials are AD or ADS. So Dochi anxiety came through. So one of the comments I made under the Him trailer with Marlon Wayans was, he's always been him. I always liked Marlon Wayans as an actor. And I was trying to think of the movie where he was a basketball player with his brother. And I just remember A and K all the way. So the initials AK could be significant, or if you know, an AK could be significant. I don't know why that would resonate with you, but perhaps it does. Perhaps you're an owner of such things. But anyway, I couldn't remember what the movie was called, the basketball movie with Marlon Wayans. And when I was trying to think of it, I just heard summon it. Good Lord. I said The Sixth Sense. I called the movie The Sixth Sense, and that's not what the movie's called. It's actually called The Sixth Man. But coincidentally, and if you know me, if you're new here, I don't believe in coincidences, of course. Both movies, however, ironically, are about seeing and hearing deceased people or the spiritual realm, basically being a medium or seer. So in The Sixth Man with Marlon Wayans, his brother passed away, so a deceased brother could be significant. His brother passed away, and he was able to communicate with his brother on the other side to basically win the basketball championship, but also call in his own power, right? Because he was kind of reliant, codependent on his brother when he was living. So once his brother wasn't living, he was forced to stand up and be himself, right? Becoming an individual. So that could be significant. Perhaps you are coming into your own, I'm hearing. So anywho, in The Sixth Sense is when the little boy says, I see unalive people. So he was able to see them as well. So he was a seer or a medium, and eventually in the movie, first he was scared, and then he was advised to ask them what did they want? Why were they contacting them? Basically, how could he help? So that could be significant for someone. Perhaps that's something you're experiencing. Perhaps you are getting downloads, or you're a medium or a seer, and you could be scared or concerned about what you're seeing and hearing. And perhaps the advice is to ask what they want. Okay, so I'm being guided to share a story about myself. I would have vivid dreams and didn't know what to do about them, specifically dreams that would come true, right? It's not really something to tell everybody, but here we are doing things that we wouldn't normally do. So I told my mother about it, and mothers are definitely significant. She suggested that I talk to a psychiatrist about it. And both of us working in the mental health field, you know how that goes. You tell a psychiatrist you're having dreams that are coming true, you will find yourself probably on a tight regimen of psychotropic medications. So, needless to say, I didn't go that route, right? So I kind of just kept dealing with it. Finally, it was bothering me so much. It kept happening. I came to her again. It was really bothering me. I had nobody else to talk to about it. So that could be significant. Maybe you're experiencing these things and you don't really have anyone to talk to about it. Experiencing the supernatural things, the mediumship, the seeing, the hearing, the things, right? All the clairs. Clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairtangency. I forget the rest, but you get what I'm saying. So after I came to her again, her advice was basically to ask my grandmother about it because that's what she experienced as well, right? So I called my grandmother, and my grandmother basically tells me I have two options: to pray that it goes away, or 228 was on the timer when I said that. Pray that it goes away, or pray for clarity so I could help whoever's involved. Because at that point, the dreams weren't walking straight, as she would say. So the person I would see in the dream being affected by said incident wouldn't be the correct person in real life, right? So it wasn't really clear on who exactly it was affecting. Needless to say, that advice was a little more helpful. What's funny is, ironically, I don't remember which one I prayed for, but here we are. So we see how that works out, right? So any of that could be significant. So if you are experiencing anything of the sort, just pray for clarity and understanding, and how you can use your gifts to be of service, right, to yourself and others. So I'll leave that there for you. The deceased loved ones, ancestors on the other side, want to thank you for all you do. You are doing good works, erring on the side of good, is what I was told. So, in this world that we live in today, it's not always easy to err on the side of good, right? It's so easy to get caught up in the messiness and drama of situations. So I have a list of names that came through. So maybe these are your loved ones coming through, specifically brothers. I got a lot of male names, so male figures are significant. Brothers, definitely. Edward, Dixon, Derek, Randy, Randolph, Randolph. I just heard Adolf. Leonard, Lenny, Larry, Fran, Franny, AK, again, is significant. Haiti or Haiti, so whether the place or the name. Halima is significant. And Halima means something in Arabic, like most precious or something. And that was actually the Prophet Muhammad's, I believe, foster mother who took him in and raised him. So the name Halima is very revered in the Muslim and Islamic community. The name Anne, Barbara, something about ABCs is significant. Gregory, so maybe ABCs is pertaining to a baby that can't, confirmation, a baby that can't speak or say their name. Okay. Gregory, George, and James. So any of those names could be significant. Those male figures will like you are doing a great job. And they thank you for all that you do to be a medium, I guess. So perhaps your confirmations left and right. So perhaps you're operating in your mediumshipness gifts. And they would like to thank you for all you do. Ron as well. So yeah, because it says relaying messages, using your clairaudience specifically to relay messages. So they want to thank you for that. So then here's where we started going a little left. The movie with Monique came to mind with the medium. I don't know why. I guess mediumship, was in the energy. So immediately I started thinking about the movie with Monique and the medium girl that was in the movie with her. So I called that movie Ma. And when I thought about it, I'm like, that's not what that movie's called. So again, we have a mix up with movies, right? So the movie Ma, M-A, is with Octavia Spencer, but both movies again have similarities, right? So similarities are significant. Two of the same, two of a kind. Both of these movies have a diabolical ass mother figure that they're just treacherous in the movie, right? I'm hearing black mother. So mothers are definitely significant all throughout the reading. You'll hear that as we continue. The actual movie I was getting at first was The Reader. So the one with Monique is called The Reader. In The Reader, the mother becomes a prominent figure after dealing with a horrendous tragedy after her whole family is unalived. They bring in a reader, a seer, a medium, basically a young lady to help solve the case, quote unquote, or to communicate with her family, right? So what we come to find out in the plot of it, it's all for show, right? It's just like a media ploy to get more attention. They don't think the girl's really an authentic medium, so they don't believe in the mediumship. They thought she was a fraud. Well, the girl is really on that type time. She's really that. She's really her. Okay. That's what I'm hearing. So she ends up seeing the mother actually unalive the entire family. So the mother, Monique, then locks the medium girl and her whole crew who's there. They're like filming it. Because it's supposed, like I said, it's supposed to be like a media thing. So they film it and they actually film her channeling basically or speaking to the unalived family. I think she saw the crime. So she was a seer as well. And they couldn't believe it. So now Monique, the mom, locks everybody in the house and tries to unalive them. Basically, it's the gist of it, right? Once they found out her secrets, she, can't have any witnesses, can't have her secrets getting out. So a mother figure could be getting a reading done. That could be significant for someone. Secrets, family secrets are significant. So in the movie Ma, in a nutshell, we had another black mother, Octavia Spencer, who was bullied in school And she decided in her grown up years to um, manipulate or take advantage of, I think she unalived to her bullies' kids. So, not the bullies themselves, but their children. So, that could be significant. Maybe they're a bullying situation, or, a mother figure with unresolved childhood trauma, right? But basically, she was negatively manipulating the teenagers, the children of her high school bullies, buying them alcohol and encouraging them to come over her house, do all kind of things, getting them in trouble, like doing all types of stuff. I forget, was there any, I believe there was Unaliving, right? It was a scary movie. Not too sure though, but again, there's similarities. Even despite her having her own child at home, she was out doing all this diabolical stuff. So there's some type of mix up. How I mixed up two movies in the same channeling was not a coincidence, right? They knew, whoever this pertains to, if this resonates with you, you are being told or being advised, they knew they were required to make a large sacrifice. That's how they should have known you're the truth. They should have known your caliber, because whatever they were doing required a lot for them to give. Like, in order to get a lot, you had to give a lot. So in the movie, I was about to say Mom, but that's not the movie. In the movie, The Reader with Monique, that name could be significant. Perhaps you have a mom or mother figure in your life named Monique. Perhaps they act like her. I'm getting the movie Precious, how she behaved in Precious or acted in Precious as well. But she, in the movie The Reading, she was rich. So perhaps mother figure did something to obtain wealth and abundance, notoriety, um, recognition. Because I started writing fame, fortune, and recognition came out loud and clear, and I kind of was guided to cancel out fortune. So it wasn't even just about money, it was more about attention and recognition. Perhaps you have I just want to say, like, a narcissistic mother. I know we throw that term around a lot nowadays, but it is what it is. There are narcissistic mothers. Perhaps you have a mother that's always been in competition with you, or there's something to that effect, or something with this mother dynamic. It's like she needs to be seen above you or in a higher light than you. Needs to be seen being better than you. Maybe she always felt less than. So, continuing on, writing and recording is significant. I don't know what that is. Somebody could be writing something and recording it. Two things can be true at the same time. So, how I confused the movies in both situations, but they both kind of were the same story in a sense, or the same moral of the story. That could be significant. Listen when people tell you their dreams. It will make sense eventually. So again, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe when people tell you their dreams, when people tell you anything, like things you come across, people you interact with, conversations you have, you're meant to hear and know and see and have those things for a reason. So pay attention to when people tell you their dreams, because in addition to your dreams being relevant, there's a reason why that message was conveyed to you. I'm hearing. Like, I have people telling me their dreams all the time, just unwarranted, and I don't have a sign on my forehead that says I'll interpret your dreams for you, but that's basically what ends up happening, right? So just like when somebody needs a doctor and a doctor just so happens to be in a room, or you're somewhere and people feel compelled to tell you their whole life story, like you have therapists written on your forehead. It happens to me a lot too. There's a reason for that. If you have people telling you, I'm hearing you're a healer and your words matter. I saw that message earlier. Your words are highly regarded. So you might not know that. I didn't really know that about myself either. So that might be some awareness you're coming into, like, hey, yeah, what I say does need to be said, is effective, is needed in some sort of way. And that's a healing ability to counsel someone through words, through their worries, their trauma, their stress, their unease. I heard dis-ease and unease. So you could be a healer if you have that therapist situation going on. A seer, a medium. You never know how you'll be called to use your gifts. So just be aware, and be open to what comes to you, and just understand and remember that nothing is a coincidence, and people are having these conversations with you probably because they need to hear what you have to say. So always be compassionate. I'm hearing when you deliver messages, and choose your words wisely. We go further left. If you're new here, I'm left-handed, so things tend to go left very quickly. And here we are taking a sharp left turn. So buckle up, buttercup. The movie then came to me, Rosemary's Baby. And why this came to me is because at the same time I was watching it, someone in my household had a dream that they were at an award show like the Grammys or something. And yeah, I guess they were being celebrated or whatever. And then they left off stage and went in the back, and their spouse and children were tied up, I think set on fire or something. But Rosemary's Baby was all about sacrificing and kind of like rituals and covens and things of that nature. Rosemary ended up being, I don't want to say hired, what's the word? She was basically recruited to birth the seed of Satan. Blue eyes are a sign. The baby had bright blue eyes in that show or movie. But again, people telling you their dreams, right? And it was, again, coincidental, but not a coincidence that in the same time I'm watching this movie, someone has a dream of basically sacrificing their family for riches and fame. So you could have a partner that is involved in something like this, some type of group, coven, organization, family dynamic, to where they would sacrifice all they have basically for recognition. I'm hearing not even money, just attention and recognition was the main thing. Of course, money along there, but that wasn't the main thing. Fame and recognition, to be seen, to be validated, is what I'm hearing. So blue eyes, like I said, are a sign. Again, I get endless blues, sadness, and regret over what was done. Again, like I said, someone sacrificed their family for fame and recognition. Someone's mother is spreading negative narratives. The shock and horror they'll experience will be unnerving for what they've done. Then, oddly enough, 6-7 came through. And if you have children or you've been on any sort of internet, you know the whole planet is saying 6-7. That is from I was going to say video. It's from a song from a rapper. I forget his name. I was about to say Skillabang, but I don't think that's it. Anywho, basically, If I can find the picture, I'll post it. I'll probably use it as the thumbnail. But I was scrolling and saw a someone had posted like a 6-7, like someone using their hands to make the number 6-7. But in order to do that, it had to be like altered, right? Because you can't like make a 6 with your fingers, like the actual number, not putting up 6 fingers and a 7, excuse me. So basically, it was a deformed hand, to plainly put. So from that, I just got something is not of the light. There was some darkness to it, not the song in particular, but just again, along with this energy, very dark energy, not of the light. Then I got the telephone game and like the red thread again. That was in another message where you know how like the CSI, they like investigate something and they have that red thread across the board. Well, I was getting like telephone lines going like that, like communications. I'm getting low vibrational communications, gossip, telephone games, several calls to several people, negative narrative, just gossip and slander. Again, we hear these messages so much now, so not surprising. I got tagged, you're it now, they'll float too. So that is part of a poem I wrote, oddly enough. So I will share that with you guys. I apologize, this video is probably going to be a little longer. So let me pull up the poem. I called it Child's Play. It has different concepts in here, but I won't explain all that. The video is long enough. So it goes, no more hide and seek. Close your eyes, don't speak. A quiet place, they'll see. You're the nightmare in the dream for me. Scream, it's Jason. Mask off, no more chasing. Not you. Tag, I'm it, now you'll float too. Twisted like balloons, blowing out candles, jokes on you. Make a wish, it depends. Let's be friends till the end. And that's the end of the poem. Oh my God, it's 2, 3, 4 after I said that. So something about that is significant. And basically, what the poem means is it has a lot of different messages, but the main message where, okay, what I channeled was tag, you're it now, they'll float too. No longer are you the victim, right? No longer are you the subject of people toiling with you. No longer are you, I'm hearing, standing by idly, like you're it now. Now you're the chaser. Now you're the, not the chaser, but the, ooh, I heard villain. And I think this is a spiritual thing. This is an energetic thing. You kind of learned your lessons. You understand that, you know, you're not going to always be in a space of love and light. So that shadow has come to balance things out. Now they'll float too. That's a line from It, the clown movie. So any of that could be significant. Clowns, poems, scary movies, because there's a lot of scary movies quoted in there. Then I saw the tarot card, the rights card. Let me see what deck that was. So there's a deck of tarot cards. They're not tarot cards, they're just cards, right? That are used for readings, and it's a rights card with a girl floating. Not Panorama, not Pandora. Oh, what are these cards called? I'll have to come back to it, but It's in a certain deck. It's a rites card basically where somebody's doing a ritual and the girl is floating. So the card is basically signifying that someone was doing a ritual of some sort or a sacrifice. And yeah, she was floating. But now they'll float too. So I guess someone was doing this to you. Now they're going to be floating and different things will be going on with them. So a seance or a ritual or some type of witchcraft or whatever is significant. Dark magic. I heard head magic. So crown chakra magic, maybe dream magic, astral traveling. The goal is just to mess with your head, right? To get you off kilter, thrown off your instincts, not functioning right. Trying to cause illnesses. The word magic kept coming up. So magic is definitely significant. I heard cancer, HIV, anything to unalive you. So unfortunately, if you resonate with this, I, for one, am sorry that you have to go through this. You know, when you hear these messages, it's kind of like beyond belief. That's a magic show, or it used to be on TV. So magic is very significant. And when I was thinking about this, I was just like, why would somebody do this? And immediately the song came in my head, For the Love of Monday. So unfortunately, someone has put you through a number of things for money, recognition, fame, right? So I I pray that this ends well for you and justice is served immediately because no one deserves any of this. Then I got Where Do I Start? Where Do I End? That's from another song. It's called We Set the Trends. It's a hip hop song. So if you're new here, I channel a lot of hip hop songs. But that verse specifically is from Joel Santana. I actually wrote a blog about narcissism and I included some of his verse. So narcissism could definitely be significant, and I basically attributed or explained how narcissism, the different forms of narcissism, can be attributed to different princes of hell, different demons, right? We have different demons who govern the seven deadly sins, and I attributed the different types of narcissism to the seven deadly sins and which prince rules over said sin and narcissism type. I'll have to tag my blog in here somewhere so you can read that if you're interested. But I got Where Do I Start? Where Do I End? When it comes to work, they just pretend we put it in like we in the gym. So that's a messenger. Somebody's a messenger for the ancestors. I was going to say that's a message from the ancestors, but messenger came out. When it comes to work, they just pretend, and work is significant. So root work, I'm hearing spell work, head work again. When it comes to work, they just pretend we put it in like we in the gym. So his ancestors are going hard. I had a couple ancestor channels. You can look through the videos and see those. That brother on the other side is going to back for you real bad. Like it's real bad. Whatever happened is real bad. And your brother is not having it. Or a male figure who's passed on and is in the spiritual realm going to bat for you. So rest assured that you are protected in that way and things will turn in your favor. Then I got He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. And we had that earlier, right? thanking you for being good, for goodness sake, right? Just because it's good. But these people just couldn't pull themselves to do any good by you, which is unfortunate because, unfortunately, people in these situations are ones who probably don't bother anybody and kind of want the best for people. And unfortunately, we live in a day and a time where if you're a good person and have a good heart, people see that as just somewhat easy to take advantage of and don't appreciate. So again, my heart goes out to you. That's all I can say. This is a very dark energy, but it's also saddening to know that people go through this, and the amounts of people who resonate with this is quite disturbing. So I apologize for my energy, but this energy is very disappointing to say the least, especially knowing we have mother involved, projecting illnesses and, whether mentally, physically, it's too much. I'm hearing the truth is stranger than fiction. So you'd be surprised what's truly going on behind closed doors. Um, I'm being guided to share my dream with you guys. I had a dream last night, and what I will say is I won't go into full details, but whatever is going on, just brace yourself, because if you do find out, you're going to want to choke somebody. And the song I always listen to not really calm myself down, but it's just a reminder. There's a Styles P song. If you can't tell, I love rap and hip hop. In the song, he says, "You need to calm down when the rage comes to you, for a grave or a cage or a gauge comes to you. So calm down. You don't want to end up in jail or on the other side. Let things play out how they need to, okay? Pray for guidance, pray for clarity, pray for strength and protection moving forward. Protect yourself. If you don't have protection rituals, you can look some of those up. Some people do crystals, some people do a plethora of things. So do what you feel called to do. It just says they couldn't pull themselves to do any good to you. They'd risk ending the world. So whatever they were up to, honey, there's nothing that will stop them. I'm hearing still. So they see you in their sleep. He knows, is what I got after that. Now the boogeyman is on their heads, at the foot of their beds. The call is coming from inside the house. Scream for me, it's Jason. Mask off, no more chasing. Again, that poem that I wrote last year, to be exact. This time last year, I posted it, I published it on October 29th of last year. So this could be significant from last year. September 22nd was coming through. I don't know if it's September 22nd of last year, this year. I'm hearing this year and last year it could be significant. Or September 2022. And 222 balance is restoring. So let's hope. There's a lot of loose ends, is what came out next. Someone's gaining their spiritual eyes, or someone gained their spiritual eyes. Perhaps you gained your spiritual eyes through this experience. You had to be waking up, getting to get you to see this energy or move away from this energy. So we know with gaining our spiritual eyes, sometimes it can be difficult because now you have to balance what you know in a spiritual sense and a worldly sense. So now you can see the wickedness of people, the true spiritual nature of people, and you have to refrain from calling that out. I'm hearing spazzing out, crashing out. Um, so all that could be significant. Remember to balance. Balance. That's probably why 222 came up. There's a unique balance that's required with this energy, with this work, with this knowledge, with this insight, being that third eye opening, that crown chakra enlightenment type of energy. There's a balance that's required, knowing, more of a spiritual nature, having a higher sense of awareness. You have to be able to balance yourself, or you will find yourself too far on the spiritual side. And unfortunately, I feel like that's what leads people into getting diagnosed with mental illnesses, schizophrenia, things like that. I won't get too far into that because that's too deep. This is not intended to diagnose, prescribe anyone with any mental illness or try to treat anyone. So always adhere to what you're being called to do from medical professionals, but just understand that it's a delicate balance on knowing what you know, right? Don't forget that the physical matters, harming people is illegal. So I wouldn't advise you to do that. Just take the information that you're learning and understanding and use it for your discernment. Okay, you see how people are moving and operating, you see the spiritual sense in nature. Just remove yourself. That's the best thing you can do, and let those things sort themselves out. Because usually, people operating in those type of energies usually I'm here and take themselves out, or yikes, or they get what's coming to them basically. So don't worry about it. Just try to keep your sanity, keep yourself balanced, keep yourself in order. I'm here organized and focused on what you need to focus on. So you need to do some grounding techniques, get out in nature, do something that makes you feel good, that invokes joy, focus on your purpose. That's always my message here. Don't focus on what everybody's doing, who's casting spells, you can't spend your whole life focused on that, because that's just another cycle, right? That's just another trick of the enemy to keep your mind on a different timeline from ascension. So our goal here is ascension, and how we do that is focusing on moving forward. Take myself, for instance, you can clearly hear, I'm sure that I'm not in the best energy, but here I am delivering this message because it's needed. So focus on what you should be focused on. Keep pushing forward. I know the energy's heavy. At times it's dark. At times there's no support. There's no courage. Sometimes you have to be the flower that grows without water, right? Just have faith and hope that you'll get to the other side. We will get to the other side. Just have faith and hope and believe that there's something better than here, right? There's got to be something better than this. So yeah, don't focus on that, because that'll just take you to a dark place. So you have to understand that the trick of the enemy, the main goal of the enemy, and those who work for them, or those people who, what I'm guided to share is to have compassion. These people are just lost on their path, right? So they've been tricked as well. Into operating in a lower vibrational energy so the enemy can get his deeds done, right? Because just like the Most High wants his things to come into physical manifestation, so does the enemy. So he needs physical people to do that. So Just remember their goal essentially is to drive good people to do evil. I'm hearing it almost worked, but almost doesn't count. Things are balancing out. And remember, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So I got the movie The Reading is San Andreas. So it could be the end of the road for a mother figure, end of the road for a reader. It could be the end of the world as they know it, is what I'm getting. So, yeah. So 756 is significant, 818, and the movie The Seventh Sign is significant. This is getting way too long, so I hope you guys listen to this. But the reason I titled this video 6-7 is because the sixth sign, the sixth man, and the seventh sign movie is significant. It's all about an angel that came to earth, and the guff was empty. The hall of souls was empty. Right? So he basically came to a lady and said, would she sacrifice her life so that her unborn baby could have a soul and live? Otherwise, basically, the world was about to end because the hall of souls was empty. So the end of the world was approaching, and they needed her. He came to her, so they needed her specifically. So any of that could be significant. Was that Archangel Michael? I don't know if it was, but that Archangel Michael's in the building. If I said that, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. I don't know if I can stomach that movie, with new awarenesses that I have now. But yeah, he was an angel that came to the earth, and he basically was here to end it. He was opening the seals, and the plagues were coming through, and it was up to this lady to basically sacrifice herself. Something about a ring is significant. Maybe a class ring. Somebody has a class ring. I'm seeing coven rings, mason rings. Any of that could be significant. But yeah. So also in that movie, there was a young boy who he was diagnosed with mental health and mental retardation. I know we don't use that term much now, but I'm failing to recall how to appropriately say it. So my apologies. I mean no offense. But in the movie, he unalived someone. He said God told him to do it, and it just made me think of how many people who say that actually gained their spiritual eyes and saw the wickedness on the person and felt like it was their duty to unalive a person because of the wickedness they can sense, see, feel off of a person, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. That's just an opinion, not to be taken, if it don't apply, let it fly, but just throwing things out there, catch what you can. Again, I don't condone any violence, any actions anyone takes is your own doing, and I absolve myself from any of that. I encourage you to go in love and light as always. I have some numbers before I get off. It's 12:58. I'm looking at the time and it's 12:58. That's not the time right now, but that's the number I'm seeing. 48:55 could be significant. Someone could be 48 through 55 is what I'm getting. So the number is 22, 67, 922, 159, 333, 443, 777, 144. So you can identify as the chosen. 144,757. Significant. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Very significant. 1010. You could be seeing the closing of cycles. 1212. I saw that again when I started this message. Of course, 911 came through several times, so I knew it was urgent and I had to get out. And 914. So these numbers could be confirmation numbers for you. They could be birthdays. I'm seeing 1010 specifically. October 10th could be significant. Oh, today is October 10th. Wow. So yeah, hopefully, you got something that is helpful or beneficial to you. Remember, not all things will resonate. Please don't take messages on personally if they don't resonate specifically with you and your circumstance. Do not claim this energy if it doesn't resonate with you because it's rather dark. And like I always say, go in love and light and pursue your purpose, your passions, right? Focus on forward movement. Focus on becoming the best person you can be, the best version of you can be, ascending to your highest self. That's the goal. So, we have to push through this negative energy, persevere through it so we can see the other side, so we can see the mountaintops, so to speak, as Dr. King would say. So just know that better is ahead. I don't want to promise the worst is behind you, but just know better is definitely ahead. And justice will be served. It ends now. That's what I'm hearing. So with that being said, peace, y'all.